Welcome, citizens. Chat Areas here. Hey, I'm doing some stuff, and Valkyrie just joined me. Hey, Valk.
I saw somebody hopped on. I thought that said come down and say hello.
Oh, you're very soft.
Oh, God, not this bullshit again.
Let me see if I could turn you up.
It comes and goes. I'm sure it's a setting I'm missing somewhere, but
That seemed like it made it louder. Or something. But then it went away.
Oh, of course it did.
Well, I got you turned up to 200%, so I can hear you a little bit better. Hey, say hello to the internet.
Hello to the internet.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Test out how cargo works.
Yeah.
Because I am a big cargo person.
Where are you at in game right now?
Area 18, just outside the starport.
Cool.
Spent a little bit of time last night playing with my hangar.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have time to go do cargo because that got distracted really easy, as I'm sure you know.
Yeah. No, I I spent a ton of time in my hangar here. I'm gonna invite you to a party.
Oh, cool.
In case we
It is
need...
a good weekend for a party.
And if you want, you could go see my crazy setup. I have a briefing room and a lounge.
Oh, nice. I'm still saving for one more vessel before I start buying decorations.
Yeah, they're relatively cheap, but I didn't buy I didn't buy too much stuff. The real problem is you got to be real careful what ship you fly and how close it gets. But since I have I just missed the train. Since I have an extra large hangar, you know, most of my ships don't get anywhere close to it when I call them up. So,
correct.
But if they do, they just blow around like they're made out of paper mache.
Why?
It's like they're all like trampolines that aren't guyed out and just fly off in the storm. You know.
Huh. That's weird.
And they also if they just kind of softly kiss a ship somewhere, they will just vaporize the ship. Chairs, tables, couches.
So Rook's right. We just load up a whole bunch in the garage for the sort of chips and start throwing them at people.
Yeah, we could mine whole areas with couches.
My name's Valkyrie, and I support this message.
Mm-hmm. Like if you covered a landing pad with couches, it would be, the whole thing would just be deadly until it got cleaned off.
That's just brutal.
Like instant death.
Because I can see people doing that to the landing pads at mining stations, especially in and about Crusader, where all the PvPers tend to hang out.
Yeah, even worse though, you don't really even need to do that. All you need to do is just hang out there with a couch on the pad somewhere, and if someone lands there, then you just hop out with your tractor beam and stick the couch or the table underneath their ship, and it'll just blow up.
That's ridiculous. That
so
means, I hope that is a bug, not a feature.
Well, it's how physics work in the game, essentially. You know, I mean, in the old days, people's ships would blow up for quote unquote no reason, in a certain ship. I can't remember if it was a Cutlass? It wasn't all ships. It was just one particular ship or a chair, style of chair.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out that it was if you wore a multi-tool on your belt, that the multi-tool would jiggle and bang against the chair and slowly take hit points away from your ship until it blew up.
Oh wow!
Right?
That's
so that's CryEngine. That's the engine that they decided to use. This is a very CryEngine type issue, like with physics and how all this kind of stuff works and or doesn't work.
right, depending on one's point of view, I suppose.
Obey all security and customs personnel at all times. Their job is your safety.
Yeah, I got out on one side of my... Are you in your hangar right now?
Yes, I am. There's a couple ships I still need to nest.
I'm gonna come visit you.
Okay.
I put a Cyclone and an Argo personnel or an Argo cargo on both sides of my hangar, like right by the entrance. So I can either just fly or drive to other parts of the hangar.
So if I have a ship that I left out in my hangar, and it says, hey, you need to claim this, I don't. It's just parked in the hangar waiting for me.
It should be, yeah.
Okay. It was going to be something I examined later today, but question answered.
Oh, I see you down there. Anything that you leave on the hangar has to be behind this outer,
orange and
the outer yellow striped line.
outer.
Yep.
What if it's straddling it?
That would be bad.
So I don't want to leave my cutter parked where it's at. That's what you're telling me.
That's why I'm mentioning it, because it might be a little...
Because the orange and white
over
one is the elevator.
Yep. Yeah, that could totally either get swallowed or mess up the calling of another ship.
Let's find out.
And hopefully it doesn't mess up anything permanently.
Right? The ballista fit on an 890?
Yeah.
Cool. That's what I thought.
Oh, look. Here's a surprising turn of events. There's ridiculous and stupid spam on Twitch, which is like 99% of my interactions on Twitch. I can get cheap views. It's very exciting, cheap views. I'm all about that. I could just buy viewers. I mean, like, who needs to make content if you could just buy viewers, right?
Well, isn't the point to generate money? So if you're just buying your viewers, that would reduce the amount of money coming in because it's going out.
So
But
you can
that
see how it's going over the line there, and it may tip in. Do not go over the line because you will die.
That was another thing I wanted to test, is to see what happens, because it looks like it's quite the fall.
Yeah, you see how it's just barely... It's tipping in a little bit.
Yeah, that's... Okay, that's good to know. I thought it was far enough back, because I thought the orange, not the yellow, was the safe spot.
No, it's that... I almost did the same exact thing with my Pisces. My Pisces rescue. Well, your ship did come up, though. Your vehicle did come up, so...
Excellent.
That's good to know.
Yes. Let's see if this is still movable. In the cargo elevator, I still haven't quite gotten the full hang of. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Oh, I didn't realize there were storage access ones here, too. That's cool. Nice.
On the terminal next to the ASAP, that's...
Yeah, yeah. I didn't realize that. I was today years old.
So this should be fine.
It should be a lot more fine, yeah.
And my landing gear are fully inside the...
They are.
Cool.
You can almost just back it right into here.
Tempting. But I'm also going to bring up a 325 here in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Because the 325 and the Blister are going to go into the 890. So that, should the 890 be out, being all cool and spiffy, but need to be defended, so I nested up my ships into my Carrack last night. I'm like, huh, it's a big hangar. I can turn the Carrack sideways. Wasn't expecting that. I'm too tall, ain't I?
Yep. Cyclone fits right in between those two terminal areas very nicely, though.
Yeah, I had a Cyclone in there last night. It went on the Connie. Well, that one I've got 3 different.
You are just inside the line there, so you might be okay.
Alright.
It's good to know.
But these don't get used for a whole lot because ground combat really isn't very well developed yet.
Mm-hmm. You have a display info 0.
Those 2. So what's new and exciting for you? Anything?
You know,
how's the knee surgeries going for the younger one?
they have not happened yet because insurance is being ridiculous.
No.
Oh yeah, I can't even describe the stupidity. It's, you know, they're either incompetent, stupid, or both. But yeah, they partially denied the surgery. They said, yeah, you can do exploratory surgery, but you can't do anything else to fix it. And
what the fuck is the point of exploring if you're not going to find out what to fix it?
Exactly, and we don't need to do exploratory surgery to know how to fix it, because we have an MRI. We know exactly what needs to be done. And they actually, supposedly, because I have not seen any of the denials, because they're just stalling and not showing them to me yet. But from what the doctor said, it looks like they said they denied it. They denied it because there's no imaging available, and he's had an X-ray and an MRI. So they're just screwing with us at this point.
That's imaging.
Mm-hmm.
By definition.
Yeah.
I mean, even one's name, MRI, is magnetic resonance imaging.
Yep. So I just think they're
being dickholes.
They're delaying things long enough to where they can force us to
stop.
Well, no. I think they want us to do part of because he probably will need 2 surgeries. He'll need another surgery to take out the tiny little screws that they're going to use.
True. The follow-up, that's necessary.
And so they're going to try and split those up between this year and next year. So I basically won't end up paying out anything.
Because of your deductible.
Correct.
Those fuckwads.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that's what it is, right? You know, because they do that to 1 million people. That's, you know,
a lot of money saved.
$300 million as extra. At first, I was like, "This is penny ante. I can't believe they're wasting any time on this." And then I realized, oh no, they're huge. They have millions of people, you know, that are in the same situation where, you know, it's a, you know, $2,700 surgery, $2,800 surgery. And then probably, you know, $1,500, you know, for the second one or whatever, and they're gonna screw you on both. Make sure.
Yeah. So both years you're still under your out-of-pocket deductible.
Yep. That one's gonna be interesting fitting on.
Isn't there an overhang over them?
Yeah.
It's not under it yet, am I?
Yeah, and you're like way over the corner. Can you fit your nose in the corner, way in the corner, maybe?
That was my next option. So if I can get my back end up in there.
All right. Your butt end's sticking just over the corner, but all your landing gears.
Yeah, my landing gear looks
great.
safe. So.
Yeah.
All right. I'll call that good.
It's good to know.
Now comes the big boy. Yeah, that Melissa just fits there, doesn't it?
Yep. It's showtime.
Yep. This ought to be entertaining.
Hopefully it doesn't freak out on the physics grid and kill us all.
Have you brought your 890 out yet?
No, not yet.
Well, here we go then.
I barely even left the hangar yesterday.
My plan was to check out the new cargo running mechanics and how things work at the mining stations and selling and whatnot.
Yeah.
I didn't get out of my hangar.
Yeah. I was gonna test out some bunkering, but I wanted to come see you do your thing over here because it's so cool. Look at that.
I think this is. I only have one ship I want to do some nesting with after this, and that's Stephen Cutlass.
I'm trying to figure out the most efficient way to to do bunker looting, and I think what my plan is I'm just going to bring 2 SCU boxes and just do 4 do like 4 bunker missions, get those boxes filled up and then bring it back and store them, right?
Yeah, gotta figure that part I haven't messed with yet, the moving stuff yet. What I've done on the cargo elevator over there is I summoned a 1 SCU box to put on the one Cyclone.
Yeah, I have a bunch of 2 SCU and an 8 SCU. I can't figure out, and I don't think there is. I don't think there's a good way to transfer between boxes right now.
Gotta go to inventory and then back to the other box.
Correct. Like the only way to do it is to bring it back to you to a hangar of some kind, which I hope they work on, because it would be nice to be able to open up 2 boxes at once and move things between them. Because that way I just bring like a big 4 SCU or an 8 SCU and just fill that up.
So I'm going to sound like a complete idiot right now. Where's the garage access on this thing? I don't think I've ever used it.
It's right underneath here. Let me see if I can open it for you.
Or aft.
It's aft.
What I thought.
It's around here somewhere. It's way back here. Do you see where this little circle is on the ground?
I think so. camera adjustments. You got two little circles. Got it. I see it up there.
There should be one of these that you can do. Usually, Usually I get a thing.
Yeah, we're partied, so you should be able to open it.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm not getting a thing. Maybe it's just a... Click there? Nope. Mike says, oh no, Valk is driving, watch out.
Cautiously.
Yeah, that's really weird. Because that was generally what I thought that was for, but...
Well, I'll see if I can open it from inside then. Seems reasonable, yeah?
Should be. I don't see an F. He says no drifting in a tank. Thanks, Mike. Now that's all he's going to want to do.
Watch out. I found another elevator thing. It's not doing anything.
Oh, yeah, it's just the back.
That's been down.
Yeah. Oh, there. Where did you find it? It was it right in the...
I was approaching this circle about near where that orange light on the ground is.
Yeah, and then you saw the F up here?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Yeah, for some reason it was not doing it for me.
That out of the way.
Yeah, that's really weird.
Turn the engines back on.
Bright lights, bright lights.
Sorry about that. The really large ship I'm pulling this onto kind of blocks the hangar light.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Well, you got your side doors open. It's catching a little bit. I'll close it for you.
Okay. I was wondering what was catching. Thank you.
Oh, it's not closing.
There, I got it.
There you go.
Rear end on.
Oh, now it shows up. I can send you up if you want.
Okay. Theoretically, it'll make it easier than getting out and back in.
Mm-hmm. Theoretically. Theoretically, I pressed the button and it did nothing.
I wonder if they're having issues.
Oh God, that was the wrong one. That was the other elevator.
Did you have a person elevator hit you in the head?
Yeah. Hilarious. Let me try the other one then. Just gonna sneak up on it.
One would think that along these pillars in the interior...
There's one on the other side.
The one I'm pulled right up next to so I can open the door?
Yeah, if...
Oh, there it is. I see it.
Yep.
Okay.
I think they should just add a thing to your mobile glass where you can communicate to the ship.
Docking should be handled through the mobile glass. It's like a garage door opener.
Yeah. You know, and just you click on the ship, and then it says which door do you want to open if there's more than one.
It should be in the vehicle the vehicles section. Have another tab for controls, and anything within 5 kilometers you can work with. I think 5 kilometers sounds like a decent number. That's the reason I picked it.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Now, I don't know much about UI design, but that doesn't seem like that should be that difficult.
No, I don't think it is at all. I just think it's very low on there. Here's the thing, I guarantee you they've all thought of that would be cool. It's just, what their management prioritizes.
Exactly.
Guarantee you that, because these devs are good. They get a bad name because of the
management decisions above them.
That's right. It's the same thing with CGI. It's all the same stuff, right? It's just, the things that would make the game like immensely better are often things that management doesn't want to prioritize.
Because they don't see it as being a good ROI at this time.
Right. It's so, and I honestly don't think management is saying, like, I don't think anyone in management said no, we don't want to do that in the Mobiglass. I think they probably just said yes. They just said yes, but not right now.
And even if it's not in the Mobiglass, there should be a way to do it. I just monkey Mobiglass. You've got all of the infrastructure already there, like from a programming standpoint. You have to add to a screen that already exists. And I'm not a UI expert. That is not my wheelhouse, but it seems like that should be a couple hours with a decent coder who is good at UX. To take care of.
That's not what there we go.
That is not something I want to be seeing. That's unpleasant.
What's going on?
I'm seeing infrastructure.
Oh, did you fall out of the ladder or elevator or something?
I'm on the elevator and I don't want to get off.
Yeah, you might not have a choice. It looks like they yeah, you're falling out now or something.
I'm back down on the main floor with the hangar, but okay. I'm really crappy at getting around the 890 because I'm not on it very much. Best way to the person elevator from the garage it is parked at the listed.
So you go up the stairs and turn a right and go all the way across the balcony, and there's an elevator. There's a ladder there that you can use to get up to the other level.
Definitely being janky on me.
Wait, but you want to go to the hangar?
I'm at the hangar.
I'm
on that floor. I've already been up to the hangar to open it.
Oh, okay.
And I need to get to the elevator to get out.
Yeah, so go back to the balcony.
Okay, back down the stairs. Or ladder.
And then you can either go up the ladder and then out to the back elevator, or you could just use the garage elevator too. I mean, either one should work.
Oh, that's true. I could have just come back down the garage. Aha. Wonderful. Main elevator. Wonderful.
I mean, why wouldn't you need heavy artillery in your yacht?
Defense is a luxury.
That's right.
And in case I need to escort people to a less than secure location.
It's in case someone attacks the ship with a couch.
Right? I can shoot back at the couch.
Actually, probably the best defensive and offensive ship right now with the deadly couches of mass destruction is your Argo tractor.
Yeah, I need to invest in that one too because I do like the cargo aspect. I just I'm curious as whether or not they made it playable for someone who has spent way too much time on loading docks in real life.
It's actually kind of fun. The back, the rear facing beam works pretty good. I don't like using the front facing beam because it basically just shoots straight ahead. It's not a turret.
Oh, on the Argo?
Yeah, on the Argo tractor. So I don't really like the...
Wait a minute. Isn't that where I parked the 325?
Yeah, it vanished.
Well, poo.
Mike says, Lazy Boy, the newest defense contractor.
That's sad.
That's weird. I didn't actually watch it very close. When it
my cutter's still over here on the other side?
It is. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So maybe it if it hangs over too much, it eats it.
Must have, because but the cutter was definitely overhanging that first time too.
Mm-hmm. But not very much.
I'm gonna have to explore options on where to park the 325 in order to get it on there.
Mm-hmm. You might be able to on the one alcove that's down here. You might be able to, put one wing way over there. I still don't think it's going to fit very well, but you could try putting it like way over there.
Is the 325 low enough to squeeze onto this freight elevator over here? I mean, it's small, but I don't know if it's that small.
Might be able to fit the nose of it into the medical cubby over here.
Okay, medical.
Might be like some of the cubbies might have a deep enough area for you to fit it in. Like nose first.
Stuff on drone repair.
I mean, certainly you could probably fit the whole thing inside the freight elevator. As long as it stays where it is, it should be fine.
That's what I was looking at. I think as long as
yeah, these medical cubbies are big enough to definitely fit, like the first 2/3 of the ship inside of.
Okay.
Like if they just got rid of a couple of the junk things in some of these, it would be much more useful for some of these vehicles.
Right, let us bring our own junk.
Mm-hmm. Probably improve the game FPS anyways if they got rid of some of this stuff.
Now, do I hover it? That's another option. I hover the 890. Have you hover the 890?
No.
Well, that's something. No.
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 I think if it's over the top there, it'll make it go poof. You're gonna have to put it back in and take the 300 out.
Okie dokie. And that 890 does not take up that whole elevator. There's extra space.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's big enough for the like the Idris and the Perseus, I think.
Okay. Come on, swap my pixels.
Well, the Reclaimer and the 890 are pretty much the same size.
Yeah. I did bring up the Reclaimer just wanted to see how it fit in here, and there's a bunch of space around the Reclaimer.
Oh yeah, well, that's what I'm saying is like the hangar, the extra larges are big enough to fit the Idris.
So when I come to, since Area 18 is my home, will I always land in my extra large hangar here?
Yep.
God, when I bring in my Nomad or my Cutter, it's going to be like throwing a hot dog down a hallway.
Yes. Yes, it will be.
Just a minute, Tucker. I'll take care of you in a sec. Dog wants out.
Mm-hmm.
We just said we were pretty sure the freight elevator would fit this guy, right?
Hmm.
I mean, we have the wrong bar.
Mike is like, I wish they hadn't centered the delivery area for all the sizes. I kind of agree. It might have been nice to concentrate things a little bit in the hangars. But I think they're trying to fit and size them for a variety of sized hangars and keep things in relative spatial positions, so.
What do you think? Should I think I'll be safe here? Got a wing hanging over the little yellow and black line just outside the big yellow and black line.
I mean, it might be okay.
Slide it.
Can you fit the nose in at all, or no?
No, it's too high.
It is too high, huh? Did you try the medical one, or is that it? Is that the medical one? No, that's the
freight.
freight elevator.
Let's try the medical.
They look like they might be about the same height, so...
Oh, stop that.
Yeah, I can see it's definitely too low for the... all that, large... So yeah, the medical one's just like straight across and to the left a little bit. It looks to me like it's the same height. Yeah, that's a tight fit. I mean, you technically have all your wheels in, but your back end's hanging out pretty far.
Yeah, that's worse than last time.
Do you want to try, like, over here where I'm standing and see if you can get your wing over as far into the cubby over here as possible? I don't know how well it would work, but because there is like a light post thing there, so you gotta be careful of that.
Oh, did not like that. Did I catch on the light post?
It doesn't look like it, but you might have caught on something else.
Thus far, I think the sliding sideways into the freight elevator has been my best mission. It wasn't great, but it was the best I had. Corner didn't work, and that surprised the hell out of me.
Quite the conundrum. This time, after you park it, when everything's happening, I'm just gonna watch the 300. Is it 325?
325, yeah. It was the Interceptor version.
Yeah.
There.
I'm just gonna sit and watch it and see what it does. There are for sure some ships that are just too big to do something like this with.
And this has got to be at the upper end of stuff I can have sitting out. And honestly, the cutter I think only fits because its geometry is more squarish, whereas that one's a triangle.
But you know what I could do is I could fly that up out of the hangar. Then you could call out the 890, and then you could open the hangar, and I could just fly it down into the 890 for you.
That is true.
So if this doesn't work, because this would still be optimal, right? Because then it's just a one-person job.
Right, right.
But if it doesn't, I'm happy to just fly that out for you.
And the next best option would be take the 890 up into orbit.
Correct. You could just do that, too.
Why the hell? My ballista shows impounded. That's weird, because I parked it on the 890.
I've seen that as a bug. So
Okay.
it may or may not be impounded.
Okay. We'll see what happens. 890 should be on its way.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird ass issues they gotta fix.
Yeah. So
Right.
the inventory I get, because honestly, old inventory was easy mode. Having, if you think about it in terms of like, say, World of Warcraft is a great example of another MMO. You have multiple access points to your bank. Instead of just one.
Right.
Why they don't have an auction house in this game yet is beyond me, but hey.
Your 325 just disappeared.
Okay.
As soon as it finished closing, it went poof.
So probably the same time it summoned the 890. Okay.
So there must be some kind of overhang-ish thing, or some kind of, you know, there's a line just on the other side of this line. That's the real line. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yes. Yes. A line we can't actually see is the line.
Yeah, I think they didn't want like a magic bank accessible everywhere, which didn't have before. So yeah, like I agree with you.
I get it.
That
we've been kind of spoiled the last couple of years because it mostly worked. It's just not what we really want, but I get it. So let's get the 325 out, float it just outside the hangar. But yeah, the ballista did come back up with the 890, so there's that.
Alright.
Or at least a marker did.
Yeah, and maybe that's the bug, is that it's listed as impounded even though it's not.
That I can handle that.
So when you spawn the 325, do you want me to hop in it and then I'll fly it out?
I think that's the best way to do this.
Oh.
So I haven't actually left the hangar yet since the new thing. Do I have standard call ATC? They open it up for you?
Yep.
Yeah, I literally bought a 325 because it's the ship designed to go in the hangar of the 890. The only reason I own it is to put in the 890.
Yeah, it fits quite nicely in there. And still room for, you know, an Argo cargo or a Argo tractor, a couple of Furies.
Tractor could have fit in there with that.
Oh yeah, I can. Yeah, I can actually fit the tractor and the Furies completely off the platform.
That's outstanding.
Yeah. Kind of tucked under by the basketball hoop.
Okay.
Alright, I will hop in here. So did it just auto-store your ship?
I think so.
Because you didn't have to claim it or anything, right?
Nope. It just stored it.
Interesting.
As though it thought it was on the landing platform.
Yeah.
Just like anytime you summon a ship when you had a ship out in your hangar, it would just put the old one away, summon the new one. That's what it did as soon as that. It looks like when what you were describing, when the elevator hit the bottom, it stored the 325 and brought in the 890.
Ava, prepare for takeoff.
Contacting docking control. Commencing launch sequence.
Diagnostics, stand by.
Get my head tracking turned on here so
One
that I
moment,
can
please.
see when it's safe.
Systems prepared. Lights on. Equalizing now.
100% impulse. Targeting default set. You have the con.
It actually going to open the doors or what? Gateway granted. Okay. I still don't see the doors. Oh, do you see the doors opening?
No, the doors appear stationary.
No.
I wonder if we still have that old you have to take your own ship out thing.
Well, let's try, you request it and see what happens. Yeah, I think it spawned my hangar and, granted gateway on my hangar, not yours.
Gotcha. So, what is that? Alt-N?
Something like that. Or you can just go into comms and talk to ATC that way.
Didn't think about it. ATC's not available.
Yeah, it should be like the first thing in your friends list. Area 18 landing services. If you just ping them, it should open.
Alright, I send him a ping. I've never done it not from the cockpit.
Right, maybe I'll land and you can try it from the cockpit and then...
Landing complete.
If that works, I'll give you back control over it once the gate's open. Silly thing. I get why they do this. People aren't just jacking your shit from the hangar.
Well, if you're not in the party, you get instantly teleported.
Right.
Anything?
Hang on. Here's hoping. Oh, I got a clear to launch message.
Okay, it's opening.
Awesome. You have the con. I am disembarked.
Launch complete. Warning, collision zenith.
Now I have to do the 300-meter dash to the end of the.
Alright, I'm out.
Alrighty.
Landing gear raised.
I'll just go up ways and stay out of, be head above the cloud layer here.
Alright, 890 is being retrieved. Close the hangar. Rat.
Alright, I'm up at 12K right now. I'll just hover up here.
Alright. Ship is retrieved. Elevator second. I'll let you know when I'm opening the hangar doors again.
Roger that.
I'm sorry. Due to inactivity, we have been forced to assign your landing zone to another customer.
Kind of fun getting on these huge ass ships from the ground level, because you just get to appreciate how large the landing gear truly are.
Yep.
Like the foot pads for this ship's landing gear are bigger than most fighters.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
I mean, it makes sense, because, well, yeah. Come on.
Top tips for organizing your hangar in Star Citizen.
By Chidarius?
No, it's who's this guy? Infinite Space? Sounds, like Russian, Eastern European, some kind. He's got a cool accent.
Hangar bay should be opening. Hangar on the ship is opening. Yes. You should be clear to drop straight into this 890 tank.
All right. Heading down. Oh no. I think I just crashed the desktop. Don't worry, it'll be fine.
Yeah, actually, I feel kind of bad because you were trying to help me out, and you're going to get shifted somewhere off.
No, I think actually it'll put me right back in the ship once I log back in.
Okay. Because I believe I am still showing you it's online.
It did this to me like 2 or 3 times yesterday. So I'm gonna blow away my my shader cache and gonna wait for it to finish up here, and then when I log back in, I should be right back in the cockpit again.
Unless
I crash right into the ground.
right. Yeah, I show you 3 kilometers away, but
If I'm not moving, I'm hovering, so.
something exceeding allotted time. Oh, I wonder if that's for the anvil.
Could be. Come on. Finish your crash report. There we go.
I did close my hangar bay. Let me know when you're ready. I'll get them back open.
Just waiting to log back in.
No worries.
Yeah, I'm having a lot of crashes in this version for whatever reason.
Well, that was the first time I'd opened hangar doors in this version, so I can't speak to how reliable it is.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Rami, thanks for joining. Oh, I died.
It killed you?
And I am in my own hangar where I have my ship parked. My
Okay.
Pisces medical. Interesting.
So what I'm gonna do then, I'm gonna call the 890 good for now because we've tried 3 different ways of getting 325 on board.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, I will just take it up to I want to say Everest Harbor, but that's the one over in Lorville. Genie Point,
Right.
and leave this float, go claim the 325 and put it on the way.
Makes sense.
That's how I usually did it. I'm sure it annoyed other people because sometimes I'd actually park it across both landing pads.
You have a display info 0.
Well, I am sorry. That sucks.
It's just how the cookie crumbles at the moment. Cool thing is, I have an 8 SCU box with about 6 sets of equipment in it.
Nice.
So, no muss, no fuss. That is probably the quickest that I've ever recovered from an incident. So, kudos to CIG for coming up with this whole hair thing. Because I honestly think that with a little extra planning ahead of time, this will save time, not waste time.
You respawned in your hangar?
Yeah, because my spawn point is my Pisces red, which is in my hangar.
Gotcha.
And then I have an 8 SU box with all the basic supplies.
So, what I'm hearing is I do need to rebuy a Pisces red and just park it in the corner. I don't currently own a red. I might be crashing it. Maybe just the ASAP doesn't want to work. That's all it was.
Grab 2 of those. Just fascinating. But that, I mean, that was cool.
What's that?
Just the way that just worked. I'm like, I'm okay with this. I mean, I spent like, 4 hours getting my hangar all set up. But,
Right.
I could die 10 times today and make up that amount of time.
Right? So what they really ought to do then is over here in the medical bay, in the hangar, is have a spawnable bed.
No, they want you to have a ship that does that, because then you're more likely to buy something then.
What's the difference between spawning here or spawning in the hospital? A 10-minute walk across the
Right. Yeah, 10 minutes, and then also because I've got the 8 SCU storage box already out with stuff in it, I don't have to touch a terminal at all. I didn't touch a terminal. I just respawned, got my stuff out of the box.
That's
and
right. They don't want to make
that's
things easy on you. They want to make things hard on you.
Well, I guess it depends on what your definitions of easy and hard are, right? So if you don't like doing all the extra stuff ahead of time, like if you don't want to spend 4 hours setting up your hangar, which I get, like to some people that's just torture, right? To me it was fun. But then you're going to spend more time, when you die dealing with things. And I've spent the time exactly.
It's
all
a poor
relative.
way of phrasing it.
Yeah, but it's all relative.
Unnecessarily complex.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the ASOC
I guess
vehicle retrieval
is
system.
the real wording I should have used is unnecessarily complex, not difficult. Just
Right.
I do guess for some it does add to the game. Like you said, you enjoyed the minutia of the logistics of getting everything set up. Just so. I want to get out into the verse and do stuff.
Which, honestly, if the game wasn't broken and full of bugs, I'd have been landed in your ship, 5 minutes ago also.
True. Very, very true.
Ramey's like, damn, do you have every ship? No, I do not have every ship, Ramey. I have close to every ship. unfortunately, when 3.23 came out, they took my A2, which was probably, like in my top 3 ships to use.
You were using that a lot.
Because it's
a good one.
It's a fantastic ship to have, but it's so expensive in game. I haven't even come anywhere close because I didn't spend a lot of time in 3.23, grinding for credits.
Right.
So, which may change. But I want to get that A2 back. But, yeah, to me the A2 is like one of the best all-round ships in game, especially for org stuff.
Yeah.
You can solo in it, okay. It's tough. It's got 2 size 5 weapons. I've done ERTs in my M2, but A2 is a little bit better when you add players to it. If you fully crew an A2, it has, I think, the most firepower that's possible in game right now.
It got a lot of firepower.
Mm-hmm. So, sure. I mean, yeah.
How many turrets are there?
There's a lot of turrets. 8. It's like a 9 crew. I think it's a pilot and 8 gunner seats.
On the A2.
On the A2, yeah. So it has far more gunnery seats than the M2 or the C2. Right, so solo-wise, there's really not a difference between the 3 of those ships.
And do they have each a pair of size 4s or pair of size 5s on the turret?
The A2 has some size 5s and some size 4s.
So it is competing with the Hammerhead for damage input.
It's higher than the Hammerhead is.
And it's cheaper.
Nope, it's way more expensive.
Really?
Yeah, it's one of the most expensive ships there is right now.
But it's
money-wise too. Mm-hmm.
Because the C2A2M2 platform, the Hercules, is relatively easy to fly for its size.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Plus, it has the bombs. Plus, it has storage for additional, fighters, and and a medical Ursa, and then it still would have room left over for, cargo. So if you're doing ERT missions and getting the cargo and trying to sell all that along with the crew, it's just fantastic. So, but they took it from me. But yeah, so in 3.22, Rami, a lot of us we just did a lot of grinding in our reclaimers, and made a lot. It's about, I think I calculated it, and it was about $280 million credits in ships before they raised the prices. So
I didn't go as hard as some of them, and I probably cleared close to 100 ships.
And that number is like doubled in 3.23 on average, right? Most ships are, it's basically twice as expensive as it used to be, which I think was kind of silly to do, and pretend like it was some kind of economy thing, because there is no economy.
No,
really. Until there's virtuous cycles. There was a really good YouTuber who was talking about this the other day, and I watched him, and then I saw Salty Mike do a video on it also. Where basically we need to have industrial players in virtuous loops with PvPers, and PvPers in virtuous loops with industrial players. right? So you're a PvPer. How do you get the best equipment? You need to get the best equipment by, in my opinion, by paying an industrial user to either at least gather the goods for you, or perhaps gather the goods and make that equipment for you. And of course, industrial players aren't doing this because they feel like it. They're doing it to make a living in game, doing what they like. And so, they're getting paid for that. The PvP players or the PvE players are using that equipment to, improve their, their capabilities and thus make more money and thus have more money to buy more stuff that industrial players make. And, and on we go, right? And that connects all this, it makes all this connectivity between, things that are completely useless right now. Like, why are we mining? Right? Why are we salvaging? Right? There's not really a reason right now. But if that led to, being able to base build and being able to make new components or whatever. One of the coolest things that I thought, because I compare everything back to old school Ultima Online. Did you ever play Ultima Online?
I did not.
Okay.
I'm just scripting it sounds miserable.
It still is kind of the unbeaten, massively multiplayer online game to me. Like, other people have tried, and in various ways have done better, and in other ways not, right? So, like, I guess overall, hey Maki, overall, I don't think anyone's beaten Ultima Online, at least for the first, 4 or 5 years of its life. And, one of the coolest things about Ultima Online is that, you could go buy, let's say, plate mail from an NPC blacksmith. But what they did is, you could, as a player, you could be a blacksmith. And when you got to certain levels, and plate mail being the most difficult thing to make, right? When you got to certain levels of skill in blacksmithy, then you can actually make better armor, kind of like masterwork armor. That was better than what you could buy at a NPC blacksmith store. So it was a price premium and worth it to sell player-made armor rather than just buy the cheap stuff. And the same went for, if you were a Fletcher, you could make bows, and those bows did more damage than, regular bows and stuff like that. So it encouraged like a whole player-to-player economy that hooked. That's
awesome.
Right? That
crafted things.
Yeah.
Were amongst the best you could get in the game.
Correct. And there was variations too, right? So, it didn't happen every time you made it, and then when it did, there was bounds, right? There was like a lower bound and an upper bound, but every once in a while you would be able to make like the most perfect, the highest damage bow possible, and then you could, you get a premium for those things. And they had, and there's so much of it that reminds me of plans that they've talked about in Star Citizen, which is why I think of Star Citizen as Ultima Online in space to a certain extent. Where they've talked about like, your armor and your weapons are going to wear out. So even if you find the coolest armor and weapons in the game, it has a limited lifetime, which makes sense, right? I mean, that's real life. Things wear out.
You can't get them repaired. You have to replace them.
Well, so that was the other cool thing that they did in Ultima Online is that as a blacksmith, you could repair items. So if you took good care of your very, very expensive, magic items or very expensive masterwork items, they would last much, much longer, right? So you would have to go back, go back to your blacksmith friend and have them repair this stuff. So even if you didn't lose it yet, you still kind of had a reason to have those industrial players, right? And the same goes for they had like a whole seamstress thing where you would make clothes, and that also included leather armor, right? So if you wanted to be low encumbrance and not have speed penalties or issues casting magic because metal reduced how fast you could generate mana, you'd want like the best leather that you could get. And there was materials, dragon scale, dragon skin and stuff like that was hard to get because you had to go out and kill dragons. But if you were a master tailor, then you could use those items and craft like the best leather armor that you could make. And then all the magic user type characters would want that. And so they just figured out all these different ways to do it. Even food. You needed food in game. And so there are certain ways to make better food or not as good food. You could grow things. You could actually have gardens and stuff. It was crazy. So that
when you spin it that way, a lot of that is really cool because I tend to be on. I like to build shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a huge thing that this game is missing.
Right.
The ability to build shit.
Yeah. So when they pretty much said that they're going to start doing stuff like this. That there is going to be a way. I just don't know how deep they're going to make it. I don't know what kinds of stuff we'll be able to make. I kind of hope they take out almost all the stuff that you can buy in game, except for maybe the basic stuff. What they've kind of done with guns, right? One of the reasons why. So like the bunker running, like why would you bunker run? Well, because you can only get certain items from
as drops. You can't buy them.
Yeah, correct. You can't buy a railgun. Can't buy a missile launcher. Can't buy a grenade launcher. So the more they do that, but then also being able to offer those up, because they had that in Ultima Online too, where you could find magic weapons and armor and different magic items that were actually better than what a player could make. But you were doing high risk things. You had to kill higher risk monsters. You had to, risk getting killed by player killers in those places. So they just had all these different expanding or heightened virtuous cycles with the economy, because then you could farm that stuff. If you got good at it and you had good friends, you could farm all that stuff and then sell it. And they had player vendors. If I had a house, I could put up a vendor in my house, like right on the front steps, and put items into the pack of that vendor, which would charge me based on how much stuff was on them to sell. And you could just say, okay, I'm going to drop, 30,000 gold pieces on this vendor, and that'll last for probably about a month. And then you just put all this stuff up for sale, on the vendor, and players could come there 24/7. You didn't have to be online. That vendor acted as your middle person. And so I ran like a magic weapons and armor shop and a bowyer. I was famous for my bows. I was really good at lumberjacking. So you could lumberjack, and then you could use that for building furniture for people's houses. You could use that for building boats. You had to have wood to build, bows and different things like. So it was such a deep and, amazing, industrial system that I hope they If they even come halfway to that in Star Citizen, it will be amazing. And it will just glue the whole world together.
That would be nice. They don't have any of the infrastructure to start getting that going. I mean, they only... Because salvage gives you a thing back. It's just one thing you salvage.
Mm-hmm.
At least by hand. There's two things you salvage in space. So that's not a whole lot to use to craft. There's only, 2 or 3 critters you can hunting now?
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot of work to do to put the infrastructure. They don't have an auction house, player-to-player transactions,
right,
or any kind of player-to-player transaction.
Which is key. Like, you have to be able to offer that up so that people can buy your stuff any time of the day or night while you're not online.
Right.
Because there are people that have run, weapons dealing businesses and stuff, but it can only happen if they're online and meet up with their client, right? They have to either prearrange stuff on Discord or a forum somewhere, and then they have to meet online. So yeah, there's some really, really cool stuff that I hope they build into the game. It will make all the industrial people so happy, and it will make all of the more military style people so happy.
Right, because industrial people now have something they can really do with crafting and building.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Industrial people have... Militant people have something...
Right, and the one thing that I find really interesting is now, because they've talked about how much they want to do this reputation thing and make it deeper. Imagine if you're a seller, right, and you can use reputation to
determine your prices.
Yeah, to limit who your clients are.
Absolutely.
Right, so if you're a pirate and you want to go hardcore pirate, you either have to have pirate industrial people on your own, or you've got to be just nice enough of a pirate or make deals with non-combat people to supply your pirate crew with appropriate stuff. And that adds political intrigue and complexity in the society about, well, how bad do we want to get? If we want to go full bad, then we need full bad everything.
Mm-hmm. And there's going to be the industrialists that are completely okay selling to the shady motherfuckers.
Sure. Well, as long as they are protected. Do you see what I'm saying? Right? Like, you can't be all the way to the dark side as a pirate or a PvPer and kill every industrial person that you see, because you're actually hurting yourself. So now you need to know, is this industrial person on my side? Are they neutral? Are they, on the opposites? Like, who are they? I can't just willy-nilly kill necessarily, because I'm going to weaken myself to the point where other people have all the best stuff and I'm going to get screwed.
Yep.
I don't know if that's actually going to happen or not, but it would be cool if something like that happened, right? Where I could just be like, I'm a neutral seller, or I only sell, in this particular area where these people with bad reputations aren't allowed, or I only sell in Pyro where any reputation is allowed, or like, I don't know how they would. I mean, there's a bunch of different ways to skin the cat there, right? But you could say, I run a lawful establishment here.
Right.
And so if you're a criminal,
in this range,
yeah, so you can't
go.
Yeah, you can't go there and buy the stuff. Now, you could have an alt.
Nothing stops you.
You could do that. But there are ways to stop some of that as well, also. But
alts have existed as long as MMOs have.
Sure. Yeah. It's still more difficult.
Right, and this one is more. Well, no, because all you have to do is make one $40 investment. You don't have a long-term sub to pay.
But let's say that they can track the money that goes to the alt, and that affects your reputation.
So now we have money laundering people.
Well, but so money laundering also affects the people that money launder, their reputation, right? So, yeah,
right. I mean, but that getting into it.
But it would be cool. Like, wouldn't that be cool though, if they created a money laundering? You know, like we need the mob in order to cover up our. Yes, I would love that. That would make the game so much more interesting and deep and complicated and all the good stuff.
I would definitely say it is a much longer term reach from an economic standpoint, but it would be cool. Yeah,
I mean, like every economy has to have an underworld.
Yep.
So
you are 100% not wrong.
So I see capabilities someday, but you know they got to get there, and you know the game has to be
to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
Stable enough state. Hey Dyer, how am I enjoying the new patch? I'm enjoying it, except for a lot of crashes to desktop. So not quite sure why I'm having those, but the coolest thing happened just, you know, a few minutes ago when I was flying Valkyrie's 325 and I was going to land it in his 890 for him. And then I crashed the desktop, unfortunately, before that could happen. And what was that, the fourth attempt that we tried to figure out the easiest way to get your 325 on your 890?
Yeah, it was up there.
So I crashed the desktop. You know, I did the crash report and then I logged back in again. And what I've noticed in 3.24 is that it will generally put you right back in where you left off. So I was expecting to, you know, hopefully just pop right back into the cockpit of the 325. But it seems as though perhaps I crashed nose first into the planet. But my spawn point was in my Pisces rescue in my hangar. And I spawned right into that. And I walked out the back of my Pisces, and I walked over to my 8SU box that had all my stuff in it, and I got re-equipped, and like I didn't even have to touch. I didn't have to wake up in the hospital. I didn't have to walk around downtown. I didn't have to take a train. It didn't have to touch a terminal, a single terminal, and I was right back into it. Of course, we've been just talking game theory the whole time since, but still.
And that's been entertaining and fun, especially from an economic standpoint.
Right, the like economy stuff. So I think overall I'm generally happy with this patch. Except for, you know, some of these bugs and stuff. I mean, like usual, they probably rolled it out a month too early, but they got a schedule to get Pyro out 4.0, right? So while that's popping out, I'll show you my lounge area. Here's my lounge area.
Are you streaming on Twitch or through Discord?
I am streaming on Twitch and on YouTube. I've got some furniture laid out here. If you are very careful and you just put a table out with one thing on it, it will mostly stay put. But once you get close enough, you see it starts to dance. So but it's just barely stable enough. And then here is the briefing area, the briefing office that I made the other day. And if you get a ship down towards the corner here, it will blow it all away, and you'll have to set the whole thing up again. And then yeah, I got cyclones and some Argo carriers and stuff. Yeah, here's my storage box, right? So I just filled this up with all the stuff that I wanted to, you know, last me a week or two. And I've got boxes here.
I am going to be AFK for.
I've had a blast making all this stuff in my. Those are ones. I don't need the ones. Just need 2s for looting. So my plan is I'm gonna do bunkers. I'm gonna loot these. Like, you know, each bunker, I'll get a just the other side of this, yep. So these are way shorter range. So if I loot one of these per bunker, and then just bring them all back, and throw them in the, you know, I'll empty them out, throw it in inventory. And I could do that on a station. Wouldn't have to come back here every time. You looking for cargo missions now, Valkyrie? He's on mute. I bet she took his dog out. Definitely getting, you know, multiplayer vibes that would make all of this smoother. I'm sure there's like a better way. I'm really feeling the logistics and better ways of trying to do this stuff. Yeah, I love that. Not just ground vehicles either, right? So... yeah, I totally should have just grabbed these with my, my Argo tractor. Totally should have done that. One of the things I haven't figured out is how to repair this stuff once you get it out. It has not been working well for me. Okay, so now I'm gonna switch my regeneration to the medevac. Doing this in the cargo, my personal cargo area, is saving quite a bit of time. I don't have to go down to landing area, spawn it, do all that kind of stuff. That should do it. Another thing I love about the Corsairs, you can just leave those back tires on the door. Gives you quite a lot of room for ground vehicles. Guess I don't go out that way. Perfect. Oh, they screw this up every patch, it seems like. Automated doors. Got weapon, I've got stuff. Good to go. Okay, but configure Corsair.
Weapons power is configured to true. Wings are configured to true. VTOL is configured to true. Completed.
Okay, but prepare for takeoff.
Contacting docking control. Commencing launch sequence.
Running integrity checks. Stand by. Systems running optimally. Lights on. Reconfiguring.
100% impulse. Targeting default set. You have the con.
Okay, but let's get underway and head to standard orbit.
Retracting landing system. Toggling VTOL. Expanding.
Of course, citizen.
Direct ship to 90 degrees for max thrust in 3, 2, 1. 100% impulse. Setting max power to engines. Full trim. Afterburners off.
Teeny. Oh, there we go. Okay, the contracts.
Opening contracts.
Okay, but warp vector 1.
Engaging drive.
Give a display info 3.
Average.
Awesome. Yeah.
I think I have all my ship nesting. So
Give a
it's
display
time
info 0.
trip to the first day.
Gonna try out your first cargo mission?
Try a cargo. Yep.
Nice.
Do they actually have missions or?
Yep.
Oh wow. I just buy cargo. So
Which you can still do. But you can actually take missions where you don't have to front the money. They're just like, hey, come pick up these, this cargo, put it in your ship, and take it to this location or locations.
I like the delivery missions, but on a grand scale.
Yeah.
Go here, get this, take it here.
Mm-hmm.
Just in bulk instead of.
Right. Instead of carryables, they're tractorables.
Let's start with.
Oh yeah, atmospheric flight is different.
Really?
Really different, yeah. Like so different, I'm probably gonna crash.
Oh no.
Oh my god. I don't know what just happened. Like I just lost all control. I could not go up. I could not... I just coasted right into the planet.
What vessel?
In my Corsair. That was
You're
weird.
pretty damn good with that Corsair.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. That was pretty weird. It's like it decided that it was just not going to slow down. It was kind of bizarre. Well, I guess we'll be trying that again. Wow. Of course, best thing about... Oh, no. No, because I switched my... So lesson learned, don't switch your respawn point until after you've landed successfully.
Okay.
Because I put my Ursa Medevac in my Corsair and then switched my spawn point to that, but I crashed and blew up with that. Hilarious. Oh, it's taking a very long time.
They updated the approach lights station.
Yeah, there's like a big column of lights marking the center of the station now. They added that in 3.23, I think.
No, I mean they have like approach lanes, and they've had it used to be they were just like a line of lights.
Oh, really?
Way in.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, I liked that when they added that. I think you're right. I think the last patch they added that in.
I mean, a long time ago they had like approach lanes that you had to follow.
No, you don't have to follow these.
Right,
things.
but I'm just saying, like back in the old days, you had to fly through these squares and keep your landing position in at this landing slope before they would land you.
You jerk.
It is not spawning me. Still just waiting and waiting and waiting. This is a real bummer. If a display info 3. Current player location, Stanton 3A. Well, you know, the good news is that I'm getting almost 90 frames per second with a completely black screen.
Nice. Good FPS there, man. What kind of video that is?
My video card is good enough to render complete blackness at 88 frames per second.
I think I can only do that at 28 frames per second.
Sadly, my son's desktop older generation card actually works better than my mobile gaming card did. In his Star Citizen rig, we just have a 1660 Super, which is actually like a really nice card. It has, I think instead of 6 gigs of RAM like a lot of the 1660s do, the 1660 Super has 8. So it works much better at 1080p. So he generally gets about the same frames per second I do. You know, and I think I got that. I got the entire computer on eBay used for about $500, $550.
All right.
So I'm like, if you're playing Star Citizen between 30 and 60 frames per second, you're doing all right.
My local tends to run. I'm okay with it, considering it's a mid-grade laptop.
Mm-hmm.
I call that a win.
Yeah.
So has purchasing commodities changed?
Well, yeah, quite a bit. Because after you purchase them, you have to go to the freight elevator and pull them up on the freight elevator and load them into your ship.
I can't hire someone.
Perhaps. I haven't actually, tried it yet, so. Man, I'm gonna have to log out and log back in again.
It said to get Corunda. I'm so. That's weird.
I'm getting nothing done fast
What?
today. Okay, I see my eyeballs. And I'm dead. And
I'm gonna ask another question.
this is not good. I'm stuck in death.
Oh no.
This is really not good. I am. Good news though is I'm getting 101 frames per second now.
Always a positive.
And my screen is basically just like my retina. 102 now.
That's actually better than your retina.
Can I? And I can't die. And I can't. Jesus. All right, I'm gonna quit the game fully. And then go back in. Yeah, these little bugs, man, they're just killing me. All this fun stuff I want to do. And I can't do it because... they can't even get me to die right.
Sorry, that...
The video game, death should be like one of the best things about it. Yeah, it says server change unavailable.
Because it still thinks you're in game on one server.
Right. Deadish.
Dead, of course.
Yep. It's still just my eyeballs.
What the?
Then my nostrils. I can see my nostrils a little bit. It's like I'm inside my head. Now let's try and dance. Oh.
Not good.
Alright, well, we're gonna totally close that down. Oh, my external display is not working at all. Source is selected. There. I don't know why that's different, but it's fixed now. Guess I just gotta wait. I try and go into Arena Commander.
Hello and welcome aboard your train interplanetary craft. Your systems are online. Front impact warning.
So my hangar is glitched. That's awesome.
What's glitched about it?
Well, so my C2, which I stored, is in the floor. It won't let me store it. The option's there.
Oh, it's like stuck?
Yeah, it's nose through the floor.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. Won't let me store it. Won't let me claim it. Well, I guess I haven't tried to claim it. But I brought another ship up to this, up to Bajini Point, and it won't let me retrieve that one either.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't store this. I can't retrieve something else. do think I am going to call it a day for a little while. This is a glitch that will probably fix in time.
Hopefully. Yeah, I still can't. I'm waiting for it to get rid of the server change unavailable. Hopefully it times out and I can respawn or whatever. But then I've got to get off after that anyways. Well, have a good one, man. It was fun bumming around your hangar anyways.
It was. Thanks for the company. It makes it less monotonous when someone to chat with and talk to.
Cool. Talk to you later, man.
Yep, take care.
You know, it's a lot more about who you play with than how the game works with Star Citizen, I'll tell you that much. Game changing when you're playing with other people. Well, I think I'm gonna call it. I'll try getting logged back